Oh by golly, he's back! Chicago's own Chance T Rapper. The T stands for the. If there has been one comeback I've been sitting here waiting for, praying for, which is kind of weird because it's not even like Chance the Rapper disappeared off the planet. It's not even like his last album was that long ago. It is Chance the friggin' Rapper. Now, if you guys remember, Chance had a very odd trajectory in the music industry, popping off with a couple of mixtapes in the early 2010s that, despite being kind of overrated, if we're being honest, the Chance the Rapper hype really was shoved down everyone's throat. I gotta give the guy credit where it's due, though. At the time, he was actually able to escalate things into one of the biggest careers in mainstream hip-hop, all while remaining an independent artist, and became kind of like this positive new face for rap music, showing people that, hey, this genre of music that is often portrayed as being very negative and very bad can actually be positive and uplifting and feel good. This Chance the Rapper guy, he's so spiritual and happy-go-lucky and thinking good thoughts. And all this Chance the Rapper hype was building up year after year, project after project, until we reached the eventual release of his full-length commercial studio debut, The Big Day, which of course at the time everyone was looking forward to, not just because, at least in my opinion, his projects were increasingly getting better and better, but also you presume an artist is going to go all out on their first album and give us their best work to date. And for sure, Chance did try to go all out on The Big Day. He was reaching for the stars with a massive track list, a lot of collaborations and crossovers, a wide variety of production styles across the record too. But unfortunately, the record just did not live up to expectations between the cringe bars, the bad songwriting, the appearances that didn't really quite fit his style or kind of meet the expectations or the wants, the demands of his audience. If one thing was clear on this record, it's that Chance, for whatever reason, kind of lost touch with what his listeners wanted to hear. And not only was the album subjected to one negative review after another, including one from yours truly, but also the album led to this falling from grace moment for Chance too. It was really perceived as that bad, that like this bubble popped people's faith in Chance as an artist, and even on some level as a person, just kind of faded away. This led to a period of years of studio album silence for Chance, and recently one of the most solid elements of Chance's brand, his personality, the way he presents himself, what he projects out there as his life, that seems to be kind of coming apart too, as he has recently filed for divorce. And if you're at all familiar with Chance the Rapper lore, you know that thanks to many bars off The Big Day, he often has been ridiculed as being a wife guy. Oh, I love my wife. I love my wife. Which, if you're married, you should. Look, long story short, all of this stuff compiled seems to have put Chance in a place where he has just shrunk away from the limelight. People don't know what the hell he's doing. And it's not that Chance doesn't have the ability or the talent to bounce back from a record as awful as The Big Day. It just sort of seems like his will to actually do it hasn't been there. He hasn't even been trying to come back, but now we finally have an announcement from Chance of a new record, a new teaser for it too, complete with a visual trailer, which he is advertising like just some bars and good cinematography for your timeline. And I want to dig into this teaser, see if it's good, see if it actually gets me excited for this new project. Let's give it a shot and see what it's got. Where did the good cinematography go? We went from like Kill Bill, Buried Alive ripoff to what looks like a series that's going to get canceled in season 1 on Sci-Fi. So the visuals, I gotta say, I'm not mega impressed off the bat, but so far the song is pretty good. All right, look, as far as rap delivery, instrumental choice, mix, presentation goes on the song side, this is a good teaser. It's quality, it's impressive, it's a nice passionate return for Chance, which I think we needed. Outside of some of those bars at the very start, the rest of Chance's writing on the track was actually pretty impressive. The depiction of him falling from grace was compelling. The various spiritual and mythological allusions and references were on point too. The pop culture nods were there as well. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I feel like what's going to make and break this album is just the framing, because obviously Chance is burying a lot of the narrative here for this upcoming album, for our anticipation for it, in this whole people hate me and I became irrelevant and I fell off and now I'm here, I'm back, I was lonely, I was in a dark place, but I'm better than ever now. I have returned to reclaim what is rightfully mine. Sonically and narratively, I feel like this track is where it needs to be. It's an effective teaser for this album that is on the way. But I just sort of wonder if a true, successful Chance the Rapper comeback is actually even possible at this point. Not only because Chance has really kept his fans waiting for this return. The Big Day also was just kind of allowed to hang out there and fester for so long that it has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And on top of it, the era of hip hop that Chance came from is kind of over and done at this point. And I wonder if people are going to be able to emotionally invest in him in the way they did when he first came on the scene, when guys like Kendrick Lamar first came on the scene. Even Kendrick himself, which he explains in his own albums, has become disillusioned with this idea of being able to change things, change the world, really help and save people using his music, using the platform he holds. And originally, Chance the Rapper appealed in a very similar way. He wasn't just an artist that you enjoyed listening to. He was this relatable, likable guy who you were kind of rooting for, because he was almost seen as like a force for something. So again, even if Chance is going to bring a lot of this new album down to exactly this narrative, ultimately, at the end of the day, the song's got to be there. He cannot give us another record with even one single hot shower on it, because from that, I truly think all the comebacks in the world will not revive Chance's career. Not to mention the fact this trailer has been up on Twitter and a few other places since yesterday, and the reception is not exactly the warmest. Not that it's getting a lot of negativity and hate thrown its way, but it kind of seems like a lot of people unfortunately have moved on, which kind of sucks, because it's not like Chance isn't talented, but there is something to be said about the importance of constant engagement and consistency in today's music industry. I mean, it's part of the reason why Drake can drop so much mid, because he's always there in front of your face. You can't really ignore him. And if you're going to disappear for the amount of time Chance has disappeared post the Big Day, the music that you leave people with has really got to stick with them, so it makes them want to come back to your next thing. So yeah, this return is going to be interesting for sure, and I am going to leave it there. I think. Chance the Rapper, those are my thoughts on this brand new track and teaser. What are yours? Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up, or a link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, Chance the Rapper, forever.